Hey guys, this is After the Anchor podcast, and I am your host, Leslie Wise. Today, I have a very special guest who has flown in from out of state to come and talk to me. Her name is Corinne. Welcome, Corinne. Thank you so much for coming all the way to Dallas, Texas. More specifically, we're at Grapevine, Texas. Yeah. We are eating at one of my favorite restaurants, the Rowdy Cowboy. But that's not why we're here. We're here to have a casual chat, lunch, and we're gonna just have a chat about life and see what Corinne has to tell us. Corinne, you are literally what I would call a scroll stopper. I was looking at my social media one night and I'm swiping up like I always do. And then all of a sudden you showed up on my reel and I was like, well, she's got something to say. And then I went back and I looked again at your other reels and I was like, she's got a lot to say, actually.
I'm glad you could see that.
Yeah, well, you say it.
I feel like I get stuck in my mind though, and I can't quite get out what I really want. Like, there's so much more. I've only just scratched the surface, you know?
Do you think that it'll help in your journey to get your story out?
Well, yeah, I do. Maybe not necessarily for myself. Well, for myself, but also, I don't think like everyone is as detailed as I could be, but the nitty gritty and the in-betweens of how severe addiction can be and where it led me in my life and what it looks like when you're not just like the stereotypical, and I don't even know what the stereotypical addict is, but like, you know, I could have been just like the girl next door, but I had a severe drug addiction, and just like the minute details in between, I think is what is really interesting and what's really important, because no one talks about that. It's kind of like the bigger picture. Well, you know, addicted, rehab, this, but it's like, what in the world was I thinking? Was I born with it as an addict? Did I become an addict? And why? And then like, how did I maneuver my way through that addiction for years? I think I was like active addiction for like 9-10 years. And like, it would be great. I mean, what I'm doing right now on TikTok is highlighting that stuff. But when I say like, I want to really talk about it more is like open up each subject and like I talked about going to treatment. Well, I could talk about like just getting ready for treatment. Or I talked about like my crack addiction. Yeah. I could talk about how I started getting addicted to crack. And then another video I could talk about what it's like, just like living for crack and how I had to get it off the street sometimes. And just, yeah.
I'm smiling at the potential. I'm not smiling at I'm smiling at the potential because you do have so many multi-layers, and I can relate to that because I have the same thing. Yeah. I have so much good information, so much good tools, and until I'm talking about it, I don't really know how to categorize it into a little package and go, here you go.
This is my brand.
Here's my thing, you know. So I'd say, for lunch purposes, let's start at the kind of who were you as a kid? Who were you as a kid? Describe to me a 5-year-old Corinne. And we're gonna eat, so it is what it is.
It's like a mukbang.
Okay, so I guess what we would do probably, actually, we'll edit this part out, but if you want to bite.
Cheers or something?
But if you just want to take a bite, and then we just like, I would, if you're taking a bite, I would wait to have your conversation. You know what I mean?
Let's take a bite. Swallow and then talk.
And then talk. Totally. So it's up to you, but we don't have to, like, again, it's not formal. We're going to cut and edit all of this stuff to be, you know.
Yeah, no.
Proper.
Especially if I'm just like making no sense. Get that out of there.
No. You're going to make all the sense in the world because I understand the nonsense. Like the stuff that doesn't make sense. Yeah, the in between, the nonsense. But it's not nonsense because it is. It's just what's the word? The in between.
I feel like nonsense is kind of a good word for that.
But it's so blunt and rude. It's not the right word. You know? Like, that's
Okay, I get what you're
nonsense.
saying. Well,
Tell me who you were when you were 5.
Well, okay, I was born to a Russian father, and my mom met him when she was in the army and was stationed there in Russia. So she was fluent in Russian, but from Minnesota. So then she got married to him, my biological Russian father, came back to the States. So me at 5 years old, I had a brother who was 2, and my biological dad and my mom, were getting a divorce. We lived in Eagan, Minnesota, and he was just like not comfortable with the country. Like he was from Moscow, Russia, his entire life, and like.
I'm gonna order. Sorry. Could we do? Could I do the chicken fried chicken?
And for your 2 sides?
Oh crap! Mashed potatoes and like.
I do broccoli. It's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're so healthy.
Yeah.
Broccoli is actually really good. But then it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
Potatoes loaded.
Oh, I know, around the mashed potatoes.
Yeah. So let's just do mashed potatoes and the veggies.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Do you know what you want?
I mean, can I do like mashed potatoes and broccoli and then like, what else would I do?
You just want 2 sides?
Yeah.
Or do you want like a baked potato? Or do you want and then the sides are right here?
I actually do love baked potatoes.
They're really good here.
Yeah, I get everything on the side. I just get it, and you can build it all up yourself.
Well, I just like butter, sour cream, salt, and pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So a baked potato, everything on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
I don't need
want
like the bacon or cheese.
and then you want broccoli, a side of broccoli.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get that?
I was like, oh, yeah, that works. Perfect.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we will pick up from. Okay, so your parents were divorced.
Yeah.
They were divorced
Early on. Yeah. So, there was a huge culture barrier, right? So, my mom said she wouldn't have divorced him had she had thought that he was going to try to fight for custody for my brother Evan and I. But she knew it was just too overwhelming for him, and he like was happy to like give up the responsibility. So I think he sent her child support sometimes. There was like some minor abuse in there, and I think mostly it stemmed from him being a little bit on the spectrum, my biological dad, and also being a fish out of water, and it being high stress situations. They're really poor. My mom claims they're living next to like crack dealers or whatever, and just whatever. Living in like in Minneapolis, like in a small, just with me, and then eventually with my brother, and then I don't know, and then so they got a divorce.
He was an immigrant.
Yes.
So you were technically a first generation immigrant because you were born in the States. Like I was born in the States.
But my mom was from. But I mean,
but your father was.
Well,
so you have a portion of you that has that in your.
Yeah.
That's a difficulty. That is something that kids have to overcome.
Yeah.
It is something that you overcome because, like you said, there was a difficulty with his with the culture barrier. There was no support.
Yeah, it was just I never felt like he was a father to me. There was always a disconnect. My mom tells me that when he would come home from work, when they were together, I would hide under the table, and there was no like. The only abuse I remember is like one night he was like swinging me around, and my mom was we went to a church, blah blah. But other than that, I didn't really see anything. I heard that he did some, whatever.
You never witnessed him.
Yeah.
You didn't.
I
You
didn't
weren't
have
part
that
of the
trauma.
witnessing. Okay,
Yeah.
That you
But
remember.
And then now like go on to the real trauma. She started dating. I hate just you don't want to see your mom date. At least I didn't. And it was awful.
Yeah.
So he goes back to Russia, and we were just kind of poor, living on food stamps, government assistant. My mom was a single mom in college, and raising 2 kids and she was crazy good, wonderful mom. But she dated for a little bit, and my brother and I remember feeling this like icky feeling towards the men, like, and I just like feel truly traumatized by like a memory I have of like my mom and this one guy together, and I just like, I don't. It's like nothing,
No.
but and there's nothing that my mom did wrong that she like as she's listening to this, like nothing could have been avoided. It was just like something that I clucked. It wasn't even bad. It's just an image that I stuck with. Where like,
It was specific for you.
I didn't want to see her with anyone else, because then came in my adopted dad, who I call my dad now, and he's been like he adopted my brother and I, and he's been like our dad for 15, 17-ish, 18 years, something like that. And I call him dad. Like I literally like forget that I'm not biologically related to him. So that was great. That worked great. I guess that's like
That's love.
that's like the yeah.
That's unconditional love. A lot of
He
parents,
loves-
yes, yeah.
He treats us like we're his very own, because we are in a way. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he
I love him
chose
to death.
you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were so blessed. So I'm very proud to be a Nugent. He's, it's his last name. But that's like when you look at the outside of like the beginning of my life, that's like what it was. Like, that's like the number one thing I talk about is like, well, it was kind of interesting with like the divorce, and then dating, and then a new dad come in, and then
What age group were you in during that kind of like, during the dating? Not after the divorce, after he's gone, like during the dating?
Like first grade, I mean, only like first grade, and I remember second grade, like a little bit through, I got pulled to a different district, so I know they would have started dating around that. So second grade, what age is that?
7.
Oh yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of. And then my
6,
brother would
7.
only been like 4 or 3.
Yeah.
3 or something.
Even maybe 7, 8. I was
Right.
I was like in May. I was a May baby, so I was 7. So I think probably all my classmates had already been 7 and turning 8. Yeah.
Yep.
I was So I was definitely on the other side. So I think.
I was in March, so I was.
Do you have a lot of? I didn't realize, but apparently I had a lot of disassociation. So I don't have a lot of memory, but it sounds like your brain stayed pretty intact
I have
during
a lot of
the
like.
stuff.
Sorry to interrupt. I have a lot of visuals.
You're not interrupting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So
I was like, I know what you're saying, and I wanted to take it, but then I'm like, wait, let her finish talking.
No, yeah, no. That's so. So you had that kind of childhood. You had a stepfather that became very active in your life early on. So you feel like you had a pretty good like male figure.
Yeah.
So like you just said, I mean, you've said it. You're like, I had a pretty cookie cutter childhood. Like I was the girl next door.
There was
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
I've
than
heard
the very
some way
small
more traumatic
thing, not
stories.
small,
Yeah.
not these are.
No, it is small, though.
No, but it's not small because.
But
no. On trauma, it is not, and that's something
Don't
that
worry, I'm
I
not
like to
saying- I get
preach. I like to preach it to like.
Of course.
I like. Trauma is trauma. It's all individual.
I know what you mean, though. Like the way I explained it was that it was small to me,
It
like
didn't
in my
seem
life.
like it was, yeah.
So I totally know what you meant.
Yeah.
But,
And did they
And it
ever-
is, but it's somehow I can't like talk about being 5 without that just being.
It clearly there's
part of-
something. Is it anything that you guys ever looked into while you were in your treatment? Which we will get to the treatment
Yeah.
portion, but no, not really.
Well,
They
people
didn't.
always ask, like when I get analyzed and evaluated, and I always say, if I was my brother, I think, because that's his dad, and they like look and have the same mannerisms. So I feel like if I didn't have my mom and like the same mirror image of me, you know what I mean? Like that would be really hard. But it's never been hard for me not to have him around, because I've always had my real dad. I truly believe that Matt Nugent, my adoptive dad, he's just my real dad. And so there's never been a problem with there. So like the real trauma almost comes later maybe, but
That happens.
there's also like I've just always been really insecure. And I think like then the trauma came in, and then that just like really festered into like this incredibly insecure, hurt, like my brain hurt kind of person, desperate, crises, always living through crises. Like there's always from one crisis to the next.
Well, because that's what happens in dysfunction, which is normal
Like
versus par for the course. But
Yeah.
So the most interesting people are the people that live very, eclectic and different lives. There's nothing wrong with the life you've led. It's you, we all have ideas on obviously sobriety is the healthiest that we know, but that doesn't mean that there aren't segues
life
through
just isn't
life.
black and
It's
white.
not black and white. It
can't be.
is not
It's
a
just not.
path. No, there's
no right or wrong.
There's definitely no right or but there's no right or wrong way. There's morality, right and wrong.
Obviously, yeah. There are clear things that are completely wrong.
There's
yes,
easier
but-
paths. There's more difficult paths. What do you think? What did your junior high look like? That's a probably pretty. That's a pretty difficult time. I was queen of the itty bitty titty committee during middle school, so I know all about it.
Sure.
But you stink, I knew all. And middle school was rough.
Middle school was really rough. I remember junior high was fun, but middle school was rough.
Yeah. Did you have any issue? Do you feel like you had any?
Well, yeah. So I appreciate you asking. Just like was never. So we were like middle class, and like that's fine. But there were a lot of girls that I could just tell right away. Like I could just whether maybe everyone could tell or maybe just me, but like I could sense right away when we got to the middle school, like the hierarchy of like students. Like probably every kid can, but like I'm so into like vibrations, always have been. Like the energy in I can just tell. And I know when I'm not
That's 'cause you have
liked and not
resilience.
welcome and resilience.
That's what resilience is.
Really?
I think that's what the vibration is. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, well, I'd like to hear more about that. But I've always been outgoing. I always wanted to be the shy girl, I am so mysterious. But no, I've always been talk. And it's not always like cool, and it's not always like I just like said what's on my mind. I didn't like think of the cooler thing to say, but I've always been really good at like molding to my environment and like following the lead of like what people do to be cool. But anyway, at this point in my life, I was just really into reading fucking Harry Potter. Like I would just sit there all day in class reading Harry Potter, and I remember the popular girls would just ask me questions. They thought it was so nerdy and lame and whatever. So I was just a really big book nerd back then. Like I read, I was so into like Twilight books. Oh my God, right? But lots of like, and then I had like one best friend, and we were really true. It was a good time. It wasn't bad. And then eventually into junior high, I got like a really nice, solid friend group going, and a lot of them I'm still really close with today. So it's like I really value that. So like, it was good. High school, I was just so freaking passionate about theater. I like was throwing up. I was like, if anyone gets this role, I'm gonna throw up. Like it just quaked
so that
over
was
my body.
that you found something that you became passionate.
I grabbed
you were
onto
like,
that at the end of junior
this
high,
is my
yeah.
identity. I identify. Yeah. It's just like sports. Like I identify as a baseball player. I identify as a gymnast. I identify as a cheerleader.
Right.
You found your identity in high school.
I did, but there was like, I just had no chill. Like I wish I had someone. I don't know. I wish I had the wherewithal to be
chill?
like.
What do you mean?
What I mean is like, I was. Have you ever seen the movie the Lindsay Lohan Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's like. She wants to be a theater star, and she's like, I don't have time for a boyfriend. I have to work on my life. And that's like kind of how I was. Like I was like, I have to like train. I have to get all the leads in the musical theater. And like people who find their passions in high school, like they do the sport or they like take the math class. But like I was obsessed. Like I was crying myself to sleep at night because I was like working myself up.
So we took this to unhealthy.
Yes. An unhealthy obsession, and I let it like rot away at me, and then I let it and just like that took over my whole high school career, blah blah blah, and then of course I had to go to college for that, so I did, and like for years that was just like my self-worth was just like how good I am on the stage,
But in high school, did you get all the roles? Did you do a good job?
I got a couple.
And you
Not all
felt
of
good
them,
about it, but did you feel good about it during that? Or did you ever experience any self-doubt still?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I thought I was like killing it. I was Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Oh, thought I killed it. But I heard some rumors from like another theater girl that we all respected that came to see it. And she wasn't saying the best about my singing voice, and that like destroyed me. Like I was just destroyed.
Just kidding, she's not really, but we can say that now. That wasn't very nice.
Totally, whatever. But honestly, I have a better voice than her now anyway.
I've heard it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I've heard it.
No, but whatever. It just destroyed me. I let little things destroy me. I didn't get like the top award for that musical, like the guy who played the Beast did, and I like was like, I'm never going to. I don't know. I just like tortured myself. Like, could I have just chilled? Like, I could have like done all of that and relaxed a little bit. But I have no chill. I was like, this is my passion, and I have to do it, and that like drove me and for years. And by the way, this entire time, apart from college drinking, no drugs, no weed, nothing. I'd never even tried weed.
Did you ever, oh yeah. And okay, so that's actually the perfect spot to stop while we pause.
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you put that over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.